Welcome back to my channel. I think some few days ago I promised that I was going to share the CV that landed me my midwifery job here in the UK and brought me here as an immigrant into the United Kingdom to practice as a registered midwife. Welcome back. This is Josephine Greatness. If today is your first time coming onto this channel and you want to stay around, you can do so by hitting on the subscription button, and don't forget to hit on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. To my return subscribers, thank you so much for always coming back to watch my videos. I am very glad to have you coming around every time. Today, as promised, I'm going to take you through step by step the CV that landed me my midwifery job in the UK. Stay tuned, watch it to the end, and I pray that it will be very beneficial to you. After watching this video, if you know anyone that needs this help with building or developing a good CV for midwifery or nursing jobs, share the video with the people. Comment in the comment section below. You can add on, you can ask your questions, and I'm always glad and ready to receive it all. Thank you once again. It is Josephine Greatness. Let's move to the main topic of the day. Okay guys, so as promised, I'm going to take you through the CV format that I use to land my midwifery job in the UK. So this format can be used for whether it is midwifery job you are applying for, whether it's a nursing or nursing associate job, or even carer, if you're applying for a carer job. This is a format that you can use. Okay, so first of all, we are going to go step by step into every aspect of the CV. We are going to go about it in every, subtopics, all right? So we know CV is a formal document. It's basically curriculum vitae, and curriculum vitae is giving your employer, your prospective employer, details about who you are. So when a prospective employer picks up your CV, read through your CV, he should be able to know the type or whoever you are. Your CV should be able to sell you out, to let them know that, oh, okay, we have 4 or 5 CVs, we have 3 applicants, but then this person's CV is very enticing, and so we are going to give the job to you. So your CV should be able to sell you out well. You should be able to market yourself well in your CV. So there is no joke in preparing your CV. Don't be in a rush to prepare anything for your employer, because the same employment or the same vacancy you are applying for, about thousands of people are also applying for it. So you should take your time and make sure that your CV is marketable, can be able to market you out. Okay, so the first subtopic in your CV that we talk about is your personal details. Even though a CV is telling out your experience or selling out your strengths and your experience in the particular vacancy that you are applying for, you should be able to tell your reader or your prospective employer who you are. So number one, your personal details should entail your name, and your name here is the name on your certificates, your formal name. No nicknames, no other family names that you were named with during your naming ceremony. Make sure that your name is the name on your birth certificate, on your passport, on your formal document. It should be the same name. Then number 2 is your address. The address can be either your postal address or your home address. Then your email address. You should give your email address also under this personal details, so that if your employer decides to employ you, it will be easy for them to get through to you through your email address. Then you should let them have your phone number. Some employers would want to call you, all right? And then some people, you can see WhatsApp number here. WhatsApp number, because there are some people that have a different phone number than a different number that they use to WhatsApp. They have a number for calls, and then they have another number for WhatsApp number. So you can, even if your phone number is the same as your WhatsApp number, it doesn't matter, you can repeat it at the WhatsApp number. And then your Skype ID. Some employers, you are going to be employed virtually from overseas. You are not present in the UK yet. Even if you are present in the UK, you are not present in the office of the person that is reading your CV. So let them have your Skype ID, because now during the COVID, when the COVID came, virtual meetings and virtual interviews popped up. So some employers tend to do their interviews or communicate with their prospective employees through Skype, Teams, Zoom, or Facebook. So make sure you add your Skype ID if you have one. If you don't have one, you can create one and then add it to your CV, your personal details, your Teams ID. Also, if you don't have a Teams account, just sign up, create one, and add it to your personal details. Then your Zoom ID as well, and then your Facebook account. All right. So that talks about your personal details. Then number 2, for the personal details, in another section, we will go into details. We will have another personal details again, as you can see down here. Let's go step by step. So number 2 subtopic that you want to let them know about you is the position you are applying for, because the trust or your employer has different positions that they are, you know, selling out for people to apply for. So you have to let them know which of the vacancies you are applying for. So example, you are applying for a staff nurse or a staff midwife or preceptorship midwife or preceptorship nurse. This is just an example of the positions that can be applied for. So just look into, state exactly the position as it is described in the vacancy or the job, you know, position that you are applying for. Some positions are preceptorship triage midwife, or, you know, just staff midwife. Whatever it is, make sure you state it exactly there in the number 2 subtopic, position you are applying for. The number 3 subtopic is you want to let your employer or whoever is reading your CV to know the number of years of experience that you have in the position you are applying for. So if you're applying for staff nurse, you want to let them know that, okay, for example, you've worked as a nurse or a registered nurse for 3 years plus 7 months. Make sure you state that, because let's say thousands of people are applying for the job and most of them have 1 year, 2 months experience, but you have 3 years plus 7 months experience. So it places you on a topmost, it makes you more likely to be picked over those that have lower years of experience. So make sure you state it. And as when you are stating it, make sure you don't lie about it. State the exact number of years experience that you have, alright? Then the number 4 subtopic is your career objectives. You need to let them know your career objectives. Example of such career objectives can be to enhance my skills and potential. This is just a short something that I've written there. So whatever your career objectives are, state it there. Then I told you we are going to talk about personal data again. This personal details. So this personal data looks just like the personal details, but here you are going to let the reader know about your age, your date of birth, your place of birth, your gender, whether you are a female, male, or you are a transgender. Then you also, another personal data, you talk about your civil status, that is whether you are single, you are married, you are divorced, or you are cohabiting. You state it there. Then you also state your nationality, you state your religion, whether you are a Christian or a Muslim. You state your language, the languages that you speak. If you speak English, you speak Spanish, French. You can state if you can speak all the languages in the world, just put it there for them. Then the next thing you would want them to know about you is your NMC registration status. Here we are not talking about your home country registration status. You want them to know how far you've gone with your NMC UK registration status. So one, talk about, let them know when you passed your IELTS or your OET. Because we know that the IELTS and the OET are the required or the accepted English language test for NMC UK. So let them know the date that you passed it. Then number 2, let them know the date you passed your CBT. That's your computer-based test. And then also let them know when you had your NMC decision letter, the date you received it from NMC UK. The next thing you want them to know about you, the next part of it, is your educational and qualifications. All right, so under this, let them know your educational level, whether the level of education that you have, whether it's a degree in nursing, degree in midwifery, let them know. Then the course that you read, the course here will be maybe degree in midwifery or degree in critical care nursing, and then let them know the school or the university you attended. If it's Primary University of Science and Technology, state it, whatever school you attended to gain the certificate of qualification. Then let them also know the year you graduated. So for that year, it's from to. So the year you started the education to when you completed education. So if you have 3 educational qualifications, you do the same for all of it. So number 1, you talk about it, maybe diploma in nursing, the course you did, the school, the year, you do that till you've covered all your educational qualifications. Then the 6th thing you'd want them to know about is your license or registration plus the year you obtained it. This is your home country one, because you are now migrating to the UK to complete your NMC UK registration to get your license. So this license or registration plus the year obtained is talking about your home country. So let them know the license that you are having, the registration, the license or the registration you have, plus the year you obtained your license, alright? Then the 7th one is your work experience. This is where you are going to really sell out yourself. So let's pay much attention in this aspect. This aspect is where you are going to really sell out yourself. Let them know that you are the best candidate for the vacancy that you are applying for. Alright. So for your work experience, if you've worked in 10 hospitals or 10 facilities or 10 companies, make sure you talk about all of them. But you have to begin with the most recent one. So maybe you started working in 2008 and you are still working. Start from the most recent one, be it 2022. So start from the most recent one. So under this one, you talk about, so you start with, if you after your your training or after your education, it is just one hospital that you've worked in, no problem, let's talk about it. So we start from the most recent. So number one, you talk about employment number one. That becomes your, that's if you've worked in 2 or more hospitals or facilities. So you start from the most recent, you name it employment one. Then here they want to know, you want them to know the position that you held. So if you are holding maybe nursing officer in this employment, this most recent employment, if you are a nursing officer, state your position, the duration, let them know which year you've held this position. Maybe from 2009 to 2022, you were a nursing officer. Then state the company or the hospital, the name of the facility in which you had this employment, state the name, the address of the facility, and then you talk about the description of the facility. Here you want to let them know whether it is a hospital level, it is a clinic level, or a district level. All right, I'm going to share anyway my Telegram channel link. I'll leave it in the description section below. So join if you've not yet joined the Telegram, my Telegram page. Join it, and I can share the sample of the CV to you so that you can look at the format and go according to it. Okay, so after you've made them know the description of the kind of hospital or facility you are working in, the next thing is to let them know the bed capacity. Okay, your bed capacity, the hospital bed capacity. Let them know. Remember, I said you are selling yourself, you are making yourself marketable. So let them know every detail. That is why the bed capacity. Somebody will ask, why should I put the bed capacity? You are about 1,000 people applying for this particular job. And so you want them to know that, okay, I have a bed capacity of 300 and we take care of this number of patients a day. So they can see your employer or whoever is reading your CV is convinced that you have the capacity to work under pressure or whatever number of people that you have to take care of in a day. All right. Then talk about the department where you work in. Let's say you said you work in St. Dominic Hospital. Which department in St. Dominic Hospital were you working? Were you working in the NICU? Were you working in maternity triage? Or wherever you are working? Take it there. Then the patient census per day. Let the one reading know the number of patients that you take care of per day. So with this one, when I was doing it, I just had to, I didn't really have all these information when I was preparing my CV. So what I did was that I spoke to my line manager, and they have the database of everything that goes on, because I really wanted to give a precise number. Make sure that whatever information that you are putting there is what it is. Don't guess in your mind. Don't, make sure you have the right information. Then you talk about the type of patients you handle. So for example, if you are working in the NICU, if you stated that the department you work in is NICU, then the patients you handle will be neonates. Okay, if you are working in the orthopedic ward, then it will be orthopedic, maybe adults, orthopedic cases, adults. So you just state it there, right? Yes. Then still on employment one, you are still selling yourself out, all right, making yourself marketable. So after you've spoken about the facility you work in, the department, now the next thing for you to do is to tell whoever is reading about the duties and responsibilities that you were assigned to with that particular employment. So here, make known all that you do in the particular position you held. Say all that you did. Sell yourself. Nobody will beat you for telling what you were doing. Nobody will tell you are boasting or anything. This is a CV. You are trying to market yourself to your employer, your prospective employer. So make sure you tell them everything. But mind you, don't lie about what you are saying. If you didn't do A, don't say you did A. Say exactly what you were doing in that particular position. Then the number, still on employment one, that same employment, talk about the cases you handle. Example, if it is in the NICU, talk about it. Okay, number one, example one, under NICU, you handled babies that were small for dates, neonates. Two, maybe respiratory distressed neonates, preterm neonates. States all the cases that you handle in the particular position that you've spoken about, still under the employment one. So you are just expanding and describing and making sure that whoever is reading gets to know you well. So when I take your CV and I'm reading, okay, I know the kind of person, okay, the kind of nurse that I'm reading about here. Then Still under that same employment, talk about the equipment or machines you operate. Example, under NICU, you can operate Radiant Infant Warmer. Let them know, in the NICU, I've used the Radiant Infant Warmer, I use a stethoscope, I use a thermometer, etc., etc. In fact, say everything. Even if you use markers, pen marker, state it there. Think, ponder over it, throw your mind back into the word, talk about every equipment or machine that you've ever operated on in the particular position that you are talking about. Okay, and then when you are done with that particular, this one ends with employment 1, then you move to employment 2. So that is when, if let's say you've worked even in the same facility, let's say you still on St. Dominic Hospital, but you worked in NICU, that one will be employment 1. Then maybe in the same St. Dominic facility, you were moved to the maternity block, or you also worked in the orthopedic ward. That one becomes employment 2. You state just the same process that you went about with employment 1. Do the same. Talk about the duties and responsibilities. Talk about the cases you handled. Talk about the equipment till you are done with all the employment. Somebody may have employment up to number 10. Do the same. Employment 1, talk about all that we've spoken about. Employment 2, talk about everything. Employment 3, do the same till you've covered all the places that you have worked. All right, that you are selling yourself out, you are making yourself marketable. But there I'll repeat it again, make sure you are telling the truth. No need to be lying on your CV, because when you come, whatever you wrote in your CV, you are expected to show that, oh yes, she did it. So don't lie on your CV. Make sure you are telling the truth. Okay, then we move to, after you are done with all your employment 1, employment 2, employment 3, we move to your trainings and seminars, the workshops that you've gone to. Just state all of it. Workshop 1, maybe you had a workshop on COVID-19, talk about it. Talk about every kind of workshop, all the workshop certificates you have. Just go and collect all of them. Look on the description, the certificate, what workshop it was, state it there, the date, the year that you had them. You are marketing yourself. All right, then on the CV you can add your supporting statement. Supporting statement, here you are giving detailed information about your work experience, your qualities, your strength, tailoring it to the job specification. Because with every job vacancy posted on TrackJob or Indeed or wherever, the trust website, there is job specification. They are looking for somebody who is resilient, who is this, who is that. Make a supporting statement to describe or give detailed information about your job experience, who you are. Tailor it to the job specification. So what I always say is that the supporting statement that you use for applying for employment number 1 or vacancy number 1 should not or may not be the same supporting statement you use for number 2. Maybe number 1 is saying that we need somebody who is who knows who is very experienced in critical care nursing, and you know that you've been a critical nurse before and you are applying for that one. Tailor your supporting statement to that. Okay, and then you meet another employment vacancy that talks about somebody who is good with triaging. You have triaging skills. Make sure you edit and add that one to the supporting statement of that particular one. Just market yourself, but make sure you are telling the truth. Tell the truth. Then the number 11 is license plus certification if available. So here you can talk about your license and certification about your home country one. All right. Then number 12, when you are done with the license plus certification, it is saying if available, because there are people that are already in the UK who have gone through, sponsored themselves to the UK, done the OSCE, and they now have their UK license. You can put your UK license there. All right. And then number 12, referencing. You need people to reference you. The least number of references or referees that you need is 2. Don't put just one referee there. Make sure you have at least 2 people. And these people, you should have at least one from each facility that you've worked in. So you've worked in St. Dominic Hospital, you've worked in St. Mary's Hospital. Make sure your references does not come from just one facility. When you've been given the job offer, your employers would want to ask about you from every facility that you've worked in. So make sure you have referencing from every facility. If you have 10 employment, nobody will kill you. If you can get one reference from each of them, add it there. If they want to contact all of them, they can contact. And whoever you use as reference, let them know that this is what you are doing and ask for their permission. They go ahead for you to use them. Get their work email. Mostly it is the work email that is needed. So use their work email, not Gmail or whatever. So ask your references, your referees to give you their work email, their telephone numbers that can be reachable, emails that can be reachable. And I'm asking that ask for their consent, because if you get a job offer, the employment checks, your employers will have to contact your referees, and sometimes the referees really delay the employment checks process because they are sent emails to confirm who you are, and it takes ages for them to respond. So make sure you have a referee who is willing and ready to answer the mails from your prospective employer whenever they are called upon to do so. Then number 13, the last thing is for you to sign at the end. Before you sign, just make a declaration that you declare that all the information you've given in the CV is true and it is precise. Then you sign. That brings us to the end of our CV. As I said early on, I'm going to, in fact, my Telegram channel link is in all the videos that I have posted about migrating to the UK as a midwife. So if you need help, if you want to see the sample document of the CV that I use, join the Telegram page, hit me a message, and I'll let you have a sample of it so that it will make it very easy for you. One last thing that I forgot. One thing that I did on my CV is that I added a picture of myself to my CV, because you are not here in the UK. Whoever is reading your CV cannot see you. All they can see is the black ink on the paper. So you can take a formal picture, maybe a passport picture, and then add it to your CV. That way whoever is reading it can see you. It makes you stand out. All right, it's just an add-on. So you can add a picture, a very formal, nice picture of yours onto your CV. Once again, this is Josephine Greatness. If today is your first time coming onto this channel, subscribe to the channel. Don't just come to the channel and get all the information and go. Encourage me by subscribing to the channel. If you've already subscribed but you've not hit on the notification bell, please do so that whatever video that I post, you can get a notification of it so that you don't miss out of it. I am here I'm willing to assist, I'm willing to answer your questions. So you can drop your questions, you can drop your add-ons and your comments in the comment section below, and hopefully I am hoping that I'll be able to answer you speedily. All right, so to my return subscribers, thank you so much. I promised you my CV, and there you have it. If you want anything else, comment in the comment section below. Whatever video you want me to do, I'll try as much as possible to do it for you. Until we meet again, it's